Hey guys, this is Redshift. Welcome back to my modded series. Since the last time I did a little bit of work on my house here, mainly the patio. I changed out some of that stone for wood. I think it helps a little bit. It's still not great, but it'll do for now. So today I thought we'd try and semi-automate this apothecary. So what I'd like to do is get it to automatically insert water when it needs it, and also to have like a button so we can just drop seeds in there. So let's put it around here. Maybe we should move it back a little bit. Yeah, that should be fine. I've decided that I'm going to use this area for growing botania flowers. So I want my botania area, might become a separate building outside here or something, but I want it to be fairly close to that. Okay, so to automate the water part of the apothecary, I've prepared some of the stuff I need here. Oh, I see. What I didn't do is bring redstone, but let's see. I've got some water on me. So the apothecary outputs a redstone signal via the comparator when it has water. So you can see there the comparator lights up, and also we can just drop a bucket of water in there. So I'm going to use those two things to try and automate this. Okay, so I made some more of the redstone conduit, so I'll be using that for all the redstone stuff in this build. Okay, so in order to drop the bucket onto the apothecary, I've got some droppers, but because droppers don't always drop straight down, Botania actually includes what they call the open crate. So this will drop items straight down, but you still need a dropper or something else to feed items into it. It'll just, as soon as it gets an item, it'll drop it straight down. So that's just some living wood. So let's make one of those quickly. I've got some living wood there. Was it not living wood? Living wood planks. Okay. So 2 sets of that. So the dropper we want probably about, let's see, let's make it let's make it 1 block higher. Okay, let's put the dropper there. And then let's see, we can put our, and let me just get some of the stuff we need. Let's get the droppers. I also made this reservoir. This is from Ender.io. It's quite a nice way to get infinite water. So you make 4 of these. The recipe makes 2 at a time. So it's just some fused quartz, which is, one of these is 4 nether quartz in the Ender.io alloy smelter. So this recipe makes 2 of these. So you do this twice to get 4 of them. And then you can put this down and fill it with 2 buckets of water, and then it'll give you infinite water. Okay, so let's put, gonna need 2 hoppers attached to this. Let's see. Oh, I need it behind it. And 1 of them behind it. Okay, that should be right, I hope. And then the other one, I wonder, we can maybe do it. Should we do it on top? No, then it'll be visible. Maybe not. Okay. Put one on top facing down. Let's see how that works out. So in one of these I'm going to put a bucket of water that I'll refill using the fluid tank from the reservoir. And then I also want seeds in the other one. And then with the press of a button it'll drop seeds, or one seed, into the apothecary. So let's see, the other thing I'm going to want to do is to pick up the empty bucket. So for that we will need a hopper hook. So my plan is to have this tank down here somewhere. Actually, let's first test if we can. I'm not sure if the hopper hook can feed directly into the tank. So the hopper hook, yeah. So this will pick up items around it and put it into inventory, similar to a hopper, except it'll pick stuff up from the ground. So for this we'll need a few things, one of which is a rune of air. So last time we created this runic altar, and that's what we used to create runes. So for the rune of air we will need a mana steel, a mana powder. So one iron ingot will give us a mana steel, and a glowstone dust will give us one of those. And we will need a feather, string, and carpet. So I've prepared those. So we'll need that. We'll need that, and we'll need this one. Okay, so we can just right click those onto here. And the string. Okay, so you'll see there on the right hand side it's showing that it's getting mana. So this mana spreader is sending mana to there. Once that's done, we'll need to put on a piece of living stone and then right click it with the wand of the forest. Okay, so we've got enough mana in there. Then just put a piece of living stone on there and that's one of the forest, and that actually gives us 2 runes of air. Okay, so what did we say we needed for the hopper hook? We need a rune of air, 2 light grey and 2 grey petals, and this will all go over there as well. Light grey and grey. Okay, let's see if I've got enough flowers here. So there's 2 grey ones, and then there's a light grey. Okay, so we can put those on there so long. And then we will also need this redstone root, which is just redstone, and some grass. I should have gotten that redstone anyway. Okay, let me go get some redstone quickly. I'll be right back. Okay, I got some redstone. So now we just combine that with the grass. That gives us redstone root, which we can just put on there. And oh, sorry, this all goes into the apothecary. Let's get a bucket of water. And we're gonna need some seed as well. Okay, so we put some water in the apothecary, give it the ingredients, and one of those. Okay, it's ready to make a hopper hock. So then I just drop seed in there and we've got the hopper hock. So the way the hopper hock works is it'll put stuff into nearby inventories. It'll pick them up from the ground, but it'll only pick them up once if it can put something in a nearby inventory. So that empty bucket went in there, which is great. That's what I wanted to see. But you can also limit it by putting an item frame on there, which I made one earlier. Okay, so I made some buckets as well. Yeah, just gonna go sleep quickly. So you can limit what the hopper hock will put into an inventory by putting an item frame on it. Let's put that at the back here to hide it away. And then we'll put a bucket on there. So now this will pick up empty buckets and put them in there. And if this has water, it'll fill the bucket with water. Well, that's the idea anyway. So let's quickly decide where we want this. I think... Okay, so we're going to take the empty bucket. I wonder, we could actually... I want to make this look fairly nice, so we don't want things right up against it. But what I could maybe do, if I put that there, I could tell it to push. So that should send the empty bucket into there. And then this hopper hock. I wonder if I should make it floating. Let's see. Will it pick up stuff if it's over here? I think it needs to be closer to the... Yeah, I think it needs to be closer to the inventory there. Okay. So we can make it floating. And in order to do that, let's get our book. We need... I think it's, what's it called? A mystical flower. No, it's a floating... glimmering flowers. Okay, so 2 glowstone dust and any one flower. Okay. I'm gonna have to go get some glowstone quickly. Okay, I've got the glowstone. Let's see which flower have we got a lot of. Let's use the orange one. So if we put the orange one with 2 glowstone, that'll give us a glimmering flower. And then for floating flowers, dirt and pasture seed. Okay, so we need a pasture seed, that's just grass, which we can do. So my inventory is quite full. Let's just get 2 of them, and then dirt we've got. So we put the glimmering flower, we put one of those, we put one of those. That gives us a floating flower, and this flower will actually give some light as well when it's floating. We should be able to then, I think you just combine that with the hopper hook, and that gives you a floating hopper hook. Now unfortunately this one doesn't give light as far as I know. Yeah, this one doesn't give light. But the nice thing about this is we can put this close to our tank here. And then if we put this sign on there with an empty bucket, that should now, let's see if it'll pick it up from there. Okay, that's perfect. So it gets the bucket. Now the next step is to get water into there. So I think I will hide, no, we can hide the tank back here. Let's see, we can always move it. Okay, we'll just need to get some water in there. Oh, should have brought the other buckets. Okay. Okay, we've got water in there. So this is now an infinite water supply. Then we just need okay, so then if we put some of this there, we can make that insert, and this one we'll extract always. So we're getting water in there, the empty bucket goes in there, and then it outputs the empty bucket to that side. Now if we give a redstone signal to this dropper, it'll drop the bucket onto the apothecary through the open crate, and that should refill it. So let's see, how do we want to, what do we want to build this out of? We've got quite a bit of living rock, and living rock, let's see. My inventory is so full. Okay. So we want the button about there. It's okay, we can manage that. Let's just get a button. Then we want the redstone conduit. We want that to go there this way and up to there. I am gonna need a wrench. I want to disable that one. Okay, I am going to need the Ender IO wrench. So I'm just going to get that quickly. Okay, I've got the Yeta wrench from Ender IO. It's just 3 electrical steel, which is iron ingot, gold powder, and silicon in the alloy smelter. And then a basic gear, which is just some sticks and cobblestone, so quite simple to make. Okay, I had some trouble with this connection through this block for some reason. I just broke both these cables, the redstone conduit and the fluid conduit, and put the redstone back only, and then got it to work easily, and then added the fluid conduit back, and now it seems to be working. So what should happen is when we press this button, this dropper will drop the water bucket into the open crate, which will drop it onto the apothecary, filling it with water. This hopper hawk should then pick up the empty bucket, put it into this tank, which will fill it with water and send it back to the dropper. So let's see if that works. So there goes the bucket. Let's see if the hopper hawk picks it up. It does. And we've got another full water bucket in there. That's perfect. Okay, awesome. That's exactly what we wanted. Okay, so now the next step is, this button was just a test. What we want to do is actually connect it to this comparator. Okay, so maybe this tank is not in an ideal location here. So we want to signal out of the comparator. We want to invert that. So if we put, let's see, we put a block there with a redstone torch on top. That should invert the signal for us. And yeah, that looks right actually. So we can just disable this one now. Actually, we don't need to come this way. That's all with the redstone cable. Okay, let's see. Did the bucket drop? Did I pick it up? I did. Okay. So this is going to be a little tricky to test, because now that it stays on, okay, let's do that. It'll pick it up. So the only way to test that would be to do an actual recipe, but we'll do that shortly anyway. So from the testing we've done, it seems like that'll work. Okay. So now the next step is I want a button on this side to trigger that hopper at the top there to drop a seed. Let's take it around the back. So we want that one there, and there, and there, and there. We don't want it to connect there. And we break those connections there. And then we make it connect there. Okay. So that should mean press the button, we drop a seed, and if there's a recipe in there, it will complete the recipe. I wonder if that hopper hook would reach that dropper at the top there. That's something I'll test later, I think. But maybe even add another hopper hook to put seeds into this dropper here, so in case we drop them unnecessarily, it'll just pick them up and put them back. Okay, I'm just going to go to sleep quickly, then I'll polish this build a little bit and show you the end result. Okay, I'm back. I've just added a little bit of trim around the side here. It's still open at the back, so we can still see what's going on. If I decide to put a building around the Botania area, I'll close this up some more and make it look a bit nicer. But that's the basic build. I also added some stone around here because I don't want to get too close to the apothecary and pick up the empty bucket. So I'm hoping if we stand back here, we won't pick up the empty bucket before the hopper hook has a chance to do that. So I'm just going to make a pure daisy quickly because that's a very simple recipe, just 4 white petals. So the recipe's ready. We push the button, we get a seed, and then the hopper hook takes the bucket, and we should have a water-filled bucket in there again. In that one, yes. Okay, perfect. I'm quite happy with this. Semi-autonomous apothecary should make our apothecary use much easier. Okay, and that's going to be it for today. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Maybe you'll find this build useful. Let me know if you do. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Take care. Bye.